If a reporter covers a story without explicitly identifying herself, is she pulling a fast one? That's the question posed by the Tennessee reporter who's become a cause celeb after she was fired for alleged surreptitious journalism.
Reporter for WUTC was fired Friday after state lawmakers complained she failed to properly identify herself.
That reporter is Jackie Halbert, who worked for an NPR affiliate based at the University of Tennessee. Earlier this month, she traveled with a group of high schoolers to Tennessee's Capitol.
Rode up with them, just like embedded, did interviews with them on the bus.
The students discussed a so-called bathroom bill with legislators, and Halbert got a doozy of a quote about transgender identity from State Senator Mike Bell.
Is it how I feel on Monday? I feel different on Tuesday. Wednesday, I might feel like a dog.
After her story aired, Bell claimed he hadn't known Halbert was a reporter. The story was removed from WUTC's website, and Halbert was fired for not explicitly stating she was a journalist.
I was getting emails saying that the lawmakers were complaining that I was probably going to get fired. I knew I was going to get fired.
It's still not clear what conversations between lawmakers and university officials preceded Halbert's firing. For her part, Halbert rejects Bell's claim that she reported undercover.
I shook his hand, I introduced myself with my headphones and my gear, and I had to fumble with it. It was extremely obvious that I was press.
In a statement, NPR says Halbert should have identified herself, but also says the fact she was fired by university officials and not her editors did more to undermine the station's credibility than the original infraction. Now, Halbert has filed a lawsuit asking for her job back and up to $1 million in damages. I want to underscore that this is not a college station. This is a university-based NPR affiliate, which we're not as familiar with here. But around the country, this is a model that you see a lot.
I just have one question. Was she hiding the mic?
No.
Is anyone alleging that she hid the mic? Because the soundbite sounded a little muffled, like it might have been from a distance. I'm just asking.
I haven't heard that, and I've read a fair amount about this.
Because headphones or not, if she was hiding the mic, there's a problem there. If she wasn't, the problem is with the firing.
Well, she walked up to them with her bag, identified, and the mic.
Well, then,
she had a lanyard
that's
and
identifying
a kit with the
yourself
station call
as a
letters.
journalist
Exactly.
or as someone with a tape recorder who's taping you.
The irony to me is that, if she had the mic, anything on her person, this was a group of high school students. Presumably, they all had smartphones, and any one of them could have been recording that audio at any time. The idea that it wasn't going to get out when he said that is a little bit ridiculous and outrageous. Yes, should she have explicitly identified herself? Maybe. However, in any newsroom, I don't think that's a firing offense unless there's something political going on or financial going on.
I don't remember the last time I've been at the State House and said, Adam Riley here from WGBH. You just go up and you ask legislators.
Well, everyone knows who you are.
Well,
you're famous.
I was hoping you would say that.
You're a brand, Adam. Well, I think that what's interesting about this is that we know what the standard is. It's the facts that are a little bit in dispute. The standard is you identify yourself as a reporter before you start interviewing somebody. And we're all clear on that. But the facts are, did she actually identify herself as a reporter or not? All of the available evidence seems to be that she did, in the sense that she had a 22-inch muffled microphone, the bag, the credentials.
The radio kit, the lanyard.
I don't know.
With the name of the station on it.
With the name of the station on it. It does seem to me that if this is true, then she identified herself, and in that case, the firing is outrageous.
The only time I have ever had to take the extra step was at 2020. We're doing longer pieces. We're doing often, stories that maybe would not pop up on the evening news necessarily. So we then had to have you sign a release. We're talking about something that's really intense here, right? Yes, I do know I signed. And sometimes even on camera, we're talking about this, right? And you agreed to talk to me, yes. But that's the only time. As a regular reporter, I've never had to do that.
In a way, we were talking about media literacy in the previous segment, whether the public can distinguish between news and opinion, whether they know the difference between an article and editorial. And I think that to some extent this continues that conversation, because I have had a radio kit held up near the mouth of someone I'm interviewing, and they have wondered if they were on camera. And there was no hidden camera in the radio kit. There was no one lurking behind me. And to me, it seemed like kind of a dumb question, but they genuinely didn't know. Now, this guy is a legislator. He could also not be the brightest bulb.
I mean, that's the difference. It's one thing, Joe Schmo at the mall might not realize that he's on the record when he's talking to the reporter. This guy's, what, a state representative or state senator? He should know. I think the problem that he had was that the reporter looks very young. And she, despite the fact that she had this mic, she probably blended in pretty well with a bunch of high school kids, and he made a mistake.
If I remember right, she's actually 32, and I was surprised when I learned that she was that age, because she does look like...
She does, but she's the only one in the room with the big kit that says WUTC with the long microphone and headphones. The rest of the kids have none of that.
And I want to mention in passing, in her complaint that she's filed, she says that, I believe, other legislators came to the university and threatened the university with the loss of state funding if they did not make this go away. So I wonder if we will see that again.
State legislative threats against public colleges and universities is a whole other issue, and one we should get into sometime.
I'm sure we'll get to it.